All right, welcome to the Mailman Podcast. I'm your host, Dick Colin. And wait, what's happening here? I better not hear anything about Chicago. It's going to be all about Chicago now. Well, I mean, that was the plan anyway, hence the thumbnail there. But you are right, Patricicus. You are going to hear a lot about Chicago because I just got back from there. And what a story to tell. Let's go ahead and get that up on the screen here. And start off with a banger here, right? Chicago. What a place. City with character. But we'll get to that in just a minute. Talk about air travel first and some necessities that you might find helpful in your journeys. Because my flight got delayed by I don't know, it's supposed to be 30 minutes or something, and it ended up being 6 hours, and then I think 8 total, something like that. It was ridiculous. Just kept getting pushed back, and obviously, the next flight that I can get is, leaving in a couple hours after my flight finally leaves. But needless to say, bring a lot of stuff you can do. I think that's a lesson learned there. I've got a couple of things going for me. I've got the old Steam Deck, which is great for situations like that. But I also got access to the old Google Docs. I can type away some stuff, which I did. I got pretty far on the next hard-on reviews, so we'll see how that goes. Getting a little dicey on that one. We'll see. I think I'm just going to release it regardless. But yeah, so there's a lot of things that had the time to do, and luckily I have access to all that stuff. But one of the main things, I guess, kind of why I'm going down that road is you want baby wipes, You got to have those because that paper, as you travel around the world, is not forgiving on your butthole. It just kind of scrapes and tears at it. It's not exactly the soft stuff. I mean, I guess you could bring your own toilet paper, but unless you're eating basically the same stuff that you're always eating, that change in diet, that's gonna be a problem. You're gonna have some mushy greens in there and some smells you ain't never smelled before. But baby wipes, at least, you don't have to clog a toilet with toilet paper because you can wipe it. I'm accustomed to my bidet life, and not always the case when you're abroad. And I always feel a little weird about using public bidets anyway. It's just weird. And tried the travel ones, and it's not the same. It's more like they need one that just lays flat on a toilet seat and then works like a normal one versus you carrying around this big jug thing, or in some cases they're a little bit smaller, but they're not exactly convenient. I prefer that back blast to come from the back. I don't want to be going underneath my balls. I don't think they're made for men, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Only tried a couple of those portable ones. I didn't like it. Went back to baby wipes. I use they're called Dude Wipes. Is that dudewipes.com? Sponsor me. Let me find out here. Hang on. Get that up there. Dude Wipes. I'll tell you why I use these, because it's not for the obvious reason. Interesting enough, I'm talking about Chicago. That's where Dude Wipes are from, Chicago, Illinois. Shout out. Let me go ahead and pull up their website here if I can. Where's their website? Dudewipes.com. Sponsor me. Boom. All right. Let's go ahead and pull that up and talk about that for a minute. dang. Last time I did this was when I found myself at Meow Wolf. What is that? No, don't do that. There we go. Boom. All right. Nice. So yeah, dude wipes. So obviously, the obvious reason would be, guys, see, got a sense of humor there too. But you know, the obvious one would be because it's called dude wipes. But that's not actually, you know, that wasn't the qualifying choice. That was kind of like just icing on the cake there, the chocolate fudge brownie. But they're bigger. That's why I went with these. More bang for your buck, or your butt. Yeah. So I can do a few wipes with these before I gotta toss them in there. They also had fragrance free, which I like that. And yeah, just all natural. What does it say here? It's kind of going off of memory on the packaging here. Let's see. Why wet? Okay, let's see what wet is better. Yeah, goddamn right it is. What else is on here? It's that same video. You wouldn't wash your face with a dry washcloth. Why would you clean your butt with dry toilet paper? Exactly. So here it is. 99% water and plant-based ingredients, soaked with soothing vitamin E and aloe, large enough to clean big messes. That was probably number one for me there. When you're traveling, you're not gonna have a clean bottom. That's just the way that goes. It's yeah, it's gonna be a lot of wiping. Go through some rolls, man. Let me tell you. If I don't have my bidet, bidet is like, it's one wipe is really all you need. Second wipe is kind of like a just to be sure. But that's it, man. There's not a lot else you need to do there. And then when I travel, oof, man, you're eating like shit, you know. And even if you can get something good, like the way they're cooking it, you know, you got to be careful what you're eating. But you know, I eating healthy while I'm out. You know, I'm going for the oh man, I'll talk about today. Actually, the airport, the airplane food fucked me up this time. I felt it way before I started eating in Chicago, because it took me fucking, you know, what it's like 12 hours I think total from the time I like got to the airport and I finally got to Chicago, and then I had to take the fucking train. Jesus Christ! So I got to take the train for like another hour, and then it was like I could take a bus, but it was, you know, 20-minute walk, so I just walked it. It was much better. But yeah, so the airport airline food, because they try to pepper you up with some here's a snack box rather than just the regular old snacks that you get. So you know, they try to just butter us up with that because we've been waiting forever, and so I'm eating that, and I was like, man, this doesn't taste right. And I think that's the one that got me, because it was just a box full of the little tiny packaged snacks. So I was like, why don't you just give these out instead of the one at a time there? You know, where are these boxes? I've never seen these before in my life. These freaking, what do we got here? I got airport taco fucked in Phoenix. Yeah, you gotta be careful, man. Yeah. I mean, it could have been the Popeyes that I had, but I went non-spicy just in case. But yeah, so stay away from Phoenix airport tacos. All right. I'll be sure to remember that. Oh, it's playing the video. Like, I was looking at the I guess it doesn't do that. Oh, that's why. I'm scrolling on my page here. But yeah, you gotta choose your foods wisely. But you know, it's kind of hard to do when you're at an airport. I feel like the sandwiches are pretty safe. You know, you get those it's not really like a bakery, but they got sandwiches. Whatever those little stupid stores are, they're everywhere. You know, probably wouldn't do the sandwich at the 7-Eleven here in the States if I could have the choice, but in Japan you'd be all right. But it's like 7 & I Holdings or something like that. But yeah, so one of the main things that you need to, well, first, if you're going to do any kind of air traveling, I highly recommend making some kind of checklist. So basically, if you got an iPhone, just use the Notes app, because you can add like the little circle check boxes. If like the bottom right of that app, you can just hit that button and it gives you a little checklist. I think that's super important if you're going to do any kind of air traveling, because it's really easy to forget things that you need, and you don't want to forget your baby wipes, man. That's like top of the list. But if you travel a lot, then you want to get everything you need, in addition to the stuff that you already use. So for example, I've got a separate toothbrush that I'm going to have for traveling, and I swap that out basically like after every other trip, or every trip depending on the length of time between. That way, because it's always in that little container, so I always feel weird about the bacteria and stuff. So yeah, but anyway, like stuff like that, you don't have to pack the same toothbrush that you're using regularly. You just have a toothbrush that's for travel, all that stuff. That way, when it's time to pack, I've got like one little bin, and I just pull everything out of the bin, check it off the list. It's good to go. It takes me like, I don't know, with figuring out my clothes and the other things that you can't really buy double with, no more than 30 minutes. I mean, that's like me taking my time to pack. But yeah, everything's good to go. Yeah. Oh, can't go wrong with the croissant. Yeah, that's right. I actually had one of those. It was a ham and cheese, and I think that was it. But basically, it was like a grilled cheese sandwich, but on a croissant. Awesome. Yeah, it was I think a combination of like not getting enough sleep, because I was like, I'll sleep on the plane, which I can sleep on the plane, but in those chairs, that's a little harder while you're waiting to get on the plane. I've got this. Oh man, I need to find out what it's called, because it's the only neck rest that I've had where it's like my neck doesn't just cave over. Like it actually basically holds in place. Yeah, so I think it's awesome. I need to bring that up when I do I'm gonna do my like things that I actually use podcasts, and go over your necessities. But yeah, anyway, packing list, right? You got to make sure you get your stuff together. Definitely want to have the baby wipes. Just don't forget those. You can get them while you're on the go, but not when you need them. So, but yeah. So some of the things that I like to bring. I like to have my chargers, obviously, but I've also got a little charger block that's it's also a flashlight and a compass, and solar powered. So in case something goes wrong, find myself on the lost episodes of Lost, and need to go on a walkabout on a magical island that nobody can find, unless they're looking for it, and then they find their way back. Jeez. Well, what happened there? I guess I was going back in time at the same time, staying in one place with the Dharma. Was it DARPA? No, that's the real thing. Dharma, right? Yeah, I think that's it. Anyway, Chicago. So I get delayed, finally get to Chicago, and gotta say, I talked a lot of shit about Denver, and still stands, because there's no excuse for the way that Denver looks after going to Chicago and seeing another place where weed is legal. and not feeling like I'm gonna get mugged. So one of the things about Chicago is, or at least I heard. So a friend of mine brought up like, was like, "Dang man, all I've heard about Chicago in the news is, that you can get shot. Like, don't go to Chicago, you'll get shot." And I was just thinking, was it last week when I was talking about like just getting off the internet, right? And I don't hear those things for the places that I go to, which is great because I didn't feel like that was going to happen at all while I was in Chicago. Felt like that might have been a case in Denver. Yeah, that fucking shithole. Yeah. Now, I will say that Chicago, like basically any city, American city anyway, or French, smells like piss. I mean, that's just, yeah. You got bums, you got piss. That's how that works, right? That being said, it didn't smell like shit everywhere like Denver did. Yeah, and well, L.A. didn't necessarily smell like shit, but I did find that that poo in a pizza box on the side of the road, on the sidewalk. Actually, I had to go around it. I was there the whole time for like 2 days, 3 days. Definitely still there when I left, so minimum of 3 days. But yeah, also another place where weed is legal. But yeah, LA was definitely better than Denver in a lot of ways. Because man, Denver just, ugh. It's like I don't know what I imagine it would be like this 28 years later movie, but with just a bunch of bums and shopping carts. Yeah. Anyway, Chicago, much better. Chicago, it's got a lot of character to the city. Denver's got some architecture, I'll give you that. You just got to go find it and look past the ever rising, that heat wave thing that you get when you look in the desert. That's what you get with the shit smell in Denver. Yeah, you just got to look beyond that, where it crests and the rest of the world begins behind it. That's where you're gonna see some decent architecture in Denver. But Chicago, boom, it's right there, all over the place, just mixed in. Even the new buildings look cool. We'll get into some of that. Unfortunately, just missed it. Daniel Tosh was is there sometime this month, the 25th, and 26th there. So that would have been really cool to see. Definitely would have went to that. Had I been there at that time. And, I thought it was Bryan Adams, but I don't know who the fuck Ryan Adams is. But anyway, he's going to be there the 21st. And Jimmy Carr on tomorrow. Which, that sounds familiar, but can't put the face to that. But yeah, so that was... what was that? Okay. That's kind of like the intro there. We've got a lot to cover about Chicago. Yeah, it's just a bustling city. Lots of cool things to check out. The buildings that it kind of it felt like walking around and at Universal, but like a real city. It was like definitely the buildings reminded me of that. So it was kind of cool to go through there. The trash cans everywhere, and I can't say the same for like trash. Like there's some trash on the street that I saw. I will say at one point I did see a syringe on the ground, but I'm in America. It's a city. I get it. That being said, didn't see anybody like doing it, but it was definitely there. I saw that, and that was the only piece of trash at the moment, like in that area. So I'd consider that pretty clean. Walking around Chicago felt super safe. There's people everywhere, and lots of variety. I'll say. I'll give the city a solid, say a solid 7 for the average there, which is for hot ladies. Hot ladies. I guess I gotta do the. Are there any hot ladies? And yes, there are in Chicago. They definitely have some. I'll say a solid 7 is like as an average. That's pretty good. Because I am taking into consideration here the look of the face versus how well kept the rest of the body it is. And what I thought was because of the Bally's Total Fitness gyms, but because there was a lot of women that looked like they were coming out of the gym, in their Lululemon.coms, right? Sponsor me. They're all over the place, and some lookers out there too, but it was not what I thought it was not the Bally's Total Fitness. It actually turned out to be. Let me find this picture here. It's gonna be later in the night. There we go. Yeah, turned out to be the Bally's Total Casino. Yeah. We live to play Chicago, and I can't remember what the top thing said, but I was pretty high by this time. So, did I mention it's legal there? Yeah, I couldn't buy a single, so they were smaller than the ones in Denver, but they kind of equaled out to the same, like Gigantor joint blunt. It was kind of like a hybrid looking thing. Yeah. Basically evened out. And I did the first one. It was kind of more like a cig of weed, It wasn't as good as the one in Denver, so I'll give them that. But it was kind of like just some random place in the city. I didn't really research anything. I just went right in the door. So, probably got the Snickle Fritz. But, yeah. And I had that kind of time, the delayed flight, because they had to get a new plane or something, which is probably for the best. But, yeah. So, what I thought was, Bally's Total Fitness, because I think is it in the same sign? Or is it the same company? Maybe. But yeah, I didn't see the casino part until later. I was like, oh shit, that's a casino. Yeah, because I was wondering what there's like people and like going out like on the outside like in dresses and I guess what you would call a suit, but come on guys, wear a tie. For real. Because that just tells me that you don't know how to tie a tie. That's what that means. No, I won't lie. Yeah. I'll wear that kind of clothes without a tie if it's like humid. Because that sucks. Which, it was pretty humid. I gotta admit. I was sweating my balls off in Chicago. I thought it'd be a little cooler, but it wasn't. Now there's some strange things that were happening. So like I said, I found myself 2 joints to the wind, and most of it was pretty normal. I don't usually take too many pictures, but I took enough because I knew I was going to talk about this. So yeah, giving it praise. So let me go ahead and show you Wise. All right, so there's Chicago. So basically, this is just around that river. There's just a series of bridges, and this is one of many. Yeah, it was really cool. So I think this is the one that the train goes on to, which was kind of cool. I might be a little bit further down, but I think I crossed the same bridge when it was earlier and then later in the night. But yeah, so when I'm in areas like this in most cities, it's like it's either just dead or like overly crazy. Which I guess maybe if I stayed to the probably like midnight or something like that, probably would have been a little different. But yeah, it just felt real chill walking around here. There's some weird lady with trying to take pictures of her like swing dress. She had this yellow dress on. You know, a little bit brighter than that boat there, but yeah, she was doing this like swinging thing. But I was way too high to be like, do you want me to take the picture? So that was kind of in my peripheral. And not at this point. I think it was like when I came back. I'm not 100%, but yeah. But anyway, yeah, just it looks like a city you want to walk around in. And it is definitely a city you want to walk around it, because if you look at the building there on the right, that's a little bit older. There's a lot of stuff like that just all over the place. And then the newer buildings, I'll show you one that like stood out to me. Like the garage was like kind of like on the outside, and this weird like, yeah, I'll just show you. It's but yeah, so about $25 will get you a couple of joints. That's the least amount that you can get, or at least for the place that I went. And a lighter, and you should be all set. Don't worry though. Just let it do its thing, because it took a while. I was actually when I got on the plane the next day, still felt a little under the guidance. Let's see. What's I gonna show you? I'm gonna show you. Oh yeah, here we go. These two buildings looked real fucking cool. Yeah, so I don't know if that goes all the way up like that with the garages. I think it's actually part of the, like this is probably the garages down on the bottom, and then from that little middle part up is probably just, those are probably just the balconies or something like that. But yeah, super cool looking design. You know, not the, you know, boring things that are in most cities, but I think there was a lot of just attempts to spice up their city in Chicago, and I'm super appreciative of that, because there was a lot to look at, a lot to admire. Here's another thing going down. This is, yeah, there's those two buildings, but see, it kind of looks like you're watching like an old Ghostbuster movie or something. But yeah, it was everybody seemed real nice there too. Like even the bellhops and the they were doing construction on like one of the elevators, so they only had one working one, and they kept offering the service elevator, and the couple times no problem, but there was one time where I went in and everybody else just flat out refused to go in the elevator with this guy, and so I was like, well, fuck it, I'll go. And I got in the elevator, and it was just this really, really awesome old black dude, and you know, we were just talking the whole time and going up through this, and it's just me and him, and I'm super high, so we're talking about Chicago, and he's like, yeah, you know, it's a nice place, and I like it here, and that's about as close to his voice as I can get there. And yeah, it was just you know, cool having those kinds of little experiences with people in that city where it's just real quick and friendly, and you know, made me want to go back. You know, it was definitely a interesting place. You know, it didn't have that I can't wait to get out of here feeling that Denver gave me. What a shithole. Denver just sucks, man. Chicago. But yeah, so I did get some deep dish pizza, which was pretty good. But I gotta say, well, it also might be because, you know, I got it where I could. I didn't have a lot of time to do both, so I made sure to do the hot dog at the main place that people rave about. Let's see here. I know I took a picture of it. Jesus Christ. Oh yeah, it's because I went back and took a picture of it later. Damn it. And, there it is. Boop. This place. What the hell is it called? Portillo's or Portillo's. I don't know. Whatever that's called. But it was fucking awesome. I got a number 2. So it's like 2, I guess, normal size hot dogs that you would get if you had a home barbecue or something. But Chicago style, right? With the pepper and peppers and relish and onions and such. And I gotta say, it was fucking amazing. Loved it. French fries, obviously, they're just French fries. There's not too much to say there. But the hot dog was great. Hot dogs. And then they had this thing called it's like a cake shake. So it's like basically the cake is on the bottom, and then it's like a milkshake throughout the rest. The one that I got was the chocolate one. That's the one they're famous for. Apparently, it was fucking great, man. Basically had to eat it with a spoon, but it was totally okay with that. They had a security guard in there. I'm not sure if he actually worked there, but he's definitely there. This big black dude. He was an older guy though, which is why I was like, I'm not sure if he actually that's his job or he's just like a crazy guy with a security shirt on. But so that was interesting. But it is like, so this particular one, I don't know if they're all like this, but basically there's that second restaurant sign there. It's all one in the same building. So you go in there, and then the first thing you see is that pasta bowl place, and then you got to go to the left. So that was a little confusing because I was like, what the hell is this? Where do I order? But yeah, so you got to do the hot dog thing on the left and pasta bowl thing on the right. But the other cool thing about Chicago that I really liked is it seems like they love their revolving doors. So those, things you always know from like the movies, but nowadays everything is just the slide left or right kind of doorways. Chicago's got those rotating doors all over the place. It's awesome. They do have like side doors you can use, so if you don't want to do that, because it is I think if you're a bigger person, you probably want to use the other door because they're not exactly like super huge. It also kind of depends on like your how you like to step maybe. But I guess also how high you are, because that starts to get to be a challenge at a certain point. But for the most part, if you got other people like in the circle too, then it makes it a little easier. The heavier you get from substance abuse, you just try to figure that out. It gets a little challenging. But yeah, that was another thing that I really liked about Chicago is it just felt like an old city living in a new one. There's just like this building looks really cool. There's a lot of architecture that looks like that, kind of like that older. What you imagine the city would have started like. Even the alleyways, like it was. I should have took pictures of that, because where all the dumpsters are and stuff, like it wasn't really that bad. Like walking around Denver, it was just like no organization of those dumpsters. They were just fucking everywhere. And then like obviously people just everywhere, dirty, smell like shit. But Chicago just smelled like piss. So yeah, and the dumpsters were actually on the edge, right? So you can see down the alleyway. Don't want to walk down there, probably. Ooh, excuse me. I know I didn't. I know better than that. I ain't no newbie. But let's go over some other stuff here. What is this? That's just another angle of the bridge. Oh, here we go. This is cool. I think this is one that has some cool shots here. Yeah, there we go. And there's one of those sevens right there. Uh, but yeah, you see these. It kind of has that uh like New York kind of feel there, you know. Um, just a really cool place to wander around because you can just go down this lake, this or river, lake, this river. Yeah, it's pretty far walk, and then to the right is, we'll get into that in a minute. Millennial Park or Millennium Park or something like that. Is like a few blocks down to the right, and then there's just a bunch of like shops, and it obviously the more expensive things are over here on the right. But yeah, it was just really cool to walk around. Even the areas where they were doing construction, like it didn't feel like it was like in the way, but like Denver, it just felt like everything was under construction but never to be finished. That's what it felt like. But Chicago, man, that felt good to be walking around there. It seemed like they had their shit together. The scaffolding was like properly aligned. You could walk under it, and there wasn't just random dangling shit everywhere. And there's not people on top of it like pissing off it, and what have you. Just it seemed like everybody felt safe to walk around, and you can just enjoy the city, enjoy the sights. And we're getting some weird stuff that comes up later though. Mainly at Millennial Park or whatever. Let's see here. What was this? Why did I take this picture? Just because the Chicago sign. It was just the city. I thought it'd look cooler, and it didn't. So I did get a closer picture of that. Let's see. Here we go. Because there was like a mini one. Oh yeah, here we go. Here's the what do they call it? The cloud, or something like that. So it's kind of neat. You can get this like interesting photos. I think if you took the time to explore the angles that you can get on this thing, it'd probably be a lot of fun as a photographer. But probably short-lived, I would think. I'd be curious of what that would look like from straight on the top, because I would imagine you're getting the city in there. But it's like this weird Flight of the Navigator looking thing. I got another picture that looks more Flight of the Navigator-ish, but yeah, it's just this weird looking, I don't know, what's that stuff? Mercury ball looking thing. But nice little area. It was clean, which was not the case in Denver. Which I'm gonna keep shitting on, I guess, because they need to get their shit together, man. They're a shithole, and they don't have to be. That's the problem. Let's see. This one has the Prudential building in it. So yeah, they got this awesome like little. So this is grass, but like right beyond the grass before you get to the actual stage here. So this is their like outdoor auditorium thing. There's a bunch of seats there, so I'm assuming they let people in here just all the time, so they can just use this grassy area or pay for seats probably. But yeah, it just looked really really cool. Modern architecture there, but yeah, just seemed like a little cool area, and it wasn't like if this would have been in Denver, there would have been fucking tents all over this place. It would have been a shanty town. But yeah, God, what a shithole. Denver, not Chicago. All right. And these pictures actually why it took so long for me to get online, because I didn't realize the iPhone took these like HEIC, whatever the hell that is, kind of photos. So I had to change all these to JPEGs. This is what I was really excited about. So there's a trash can. No trash anywhere around. It's all inside. And 2 benches. No bums. Look at that. Come on now. You don't have to be a shithole, Denver. Clean yourself up. Just because you're addicted to weed doesn't mean you have to, look like an asshole. This wasn't the only spot. It was just like all over the place. Just much cleaner. I don't know where they're seeing all this other stuff on what they're showing on the news. Like, do they stage those? Because, whatever my friend was talking about there, I didn't see it. It just seemed like a fairly clean city for the U.S. Enjoying myself, getting real highs, like. What else is on here? Something else at this place. Hang on. What is it? Oh yeah. Then they got this like weird forest, just kind of in the middle there. Maybe that's lit up at night, but I don't know. That's probably where kids get abducted. Come out clean on the other side. Maybe. I don't know. And then, the video. Yeah, I gotta show you that. It's weird shit. Before we get into this stuff. Where is it? Damn it. Because I don't want to leave the park yet. Here we go. Yeah. So this is the Flight of the Navigator looking thing. But more of a clear image of that. Yeah, it's weird walking up to this thing because I don't know that I've seen this before, but I didn't like put 2 and 2 together. This is what I would be walking up on, but that's what I saw. And behind me somewhere is going to be the I'll pull up this video because I'll let you tell me what the hell this is. Let's see. Is it this one? Yeah, this is it. All right. Let's see. So I had to be up here like try to not look like a pedophile because there's nothing but kids down there. Well, there's a big black dude that was super high on the other side to the right, but mostly kids. And then this giant Asian face just kind of blinking and smiling. At some point it like stuck out its tongue. There's a different ethnicity on the other side of this. So there was another pillar with something similar going on, but I'll just let that kind of play in the background there without sound. But that's so this is about when I wasn't quite super high yet, but I was getting there. And I was just like, what the fuck is happening over here? And that's all it was. It's just this on repeat. So I don't know what the hell's going on with that. But you tell me, whatever that is. All right. And then what else we have here? Let me go to the I got more pics and there's junk. All right, so this is how it goes later in the night here. The other things I noticed, so after that, They've actually got, so if you're a cyclist, they've actually got these, there we go. Boop. There we go. They've actually got these bike paths for like the scooters and shit. Because they use Lyft in Chicago. Maybe Uber's there, but Lyft was the main one. But anyway, so they've got these little cycle paths that you can use. And you notice the road is over here on the left, on the other side of this little, I guess, a bus station area. I'm not really sure. So this is like, also underneath would be the, how to get to the train, I think. But yeah, so that was a lot safer than what I'm used to. And also while I was going away, here's the just a couple of cool looking buildings going off into the other side of the city. And then we'll get into the as I start getting real high. Not so sure the images get weirder or not, but that was definitely sitting still a lot more at this point. This is the mini Chicago sign. Oh no. For all you ladies out there, I found him. He's right there. What you all say you're looking for. Good man. Oh man. Just me on the mic, and that's how this stuff goes. Oh, and then I saw, after that I saw what wouldn't have been weird, but I was high, so a door and a semi. That was a little weird to me. I now know that that's the just the construction workers, probably the foreman's place to be or something, but that was weird. And then what else we got? Oh yeah, this was a cool looking building. I just want to get the lamp in there with that one, so that worked out pretty cool. But yeah, just these interesting buildings all over the city. So don't forget to look up as well. The city has a great, what do you call that? Cityscape. And then what else do I see here? Oh yeah, this is where. So I'll give you a little bit of the timeline here. So I definitely hung out at this place here. The lights had just kind of started kicking on. So I had the weed. So so I'm on the bridge, and this is the one where the train goes across. So there's a lot of movement, a lot of bouncing, and I'm just totally enjoying myself. And then all the way up through the night times, which is, oh, damn it, there we go. Look at that, beautiful. It's gonna be hard to find something like that in Denver. What a shithole. All right. But yeah, had a good time in Chicago. Highly recommend it. I think if you're looking for a cool place to go and explore, I think Chicago is a place to go. You know, lots of fun things to do. Smoke weed if you want to. Lots of bars if that's what you're into. Lots of things like that. And decent looking ladies. Yeah, Chicago. City with character. You gotta love it. And then let's see, as I was getting pretty high, and I started getting into this. Well, I found my dog, or a sign. This was like Foxtrot something. I forgot the Foxtrot Bakery or something like that. But looks like Shiba. That's what I saw. Shiba Inu. Which if was it that Hachi movie? Most of the dogs are an Akita, but I think they used a Shiba baby for the puppy version because they're cuter. Oh yeah, here's the Chicago Chop Shop. I think it's it's probably not like car chop shop. Probably it's probably like beef or something. Oh man. And then I came across this in my journey, and I basically it was a lot darker. This picture comes out, but this is the picture on the thumbnail. So there's this old, I think it's an old theater. Let me look that up. I'm here, might as well. Let's see. Old theater, mushrooms. Mushrooms, Chicago. Let's see. The Chicago Theater is a well-known Chicago landmark built in 1921. Is that that's not the same one though. Let's see, hang on. With mushrooms. Let's see. What? Oh no. Oh my god. Why is it asking about mushroom problems? Oh my god. Building in Chicago with mushrooms. Jesus Christ, there it is. The former Rainforest Cafe. Oh, okay. In Chicago. Yes, those mushrooms are part of the facade. Is there like a... Oh no. The old Rainforest Cafe gets key city approval to swap. Oh no, what are they gonna do here? You barbarians. To swap its mushrooms for weed, turn it into a dispensary. Dispensary's developers plan to do away with the giant mushrooms and jungle-themed designs at the closed restaurant and invest $7 million to $10 million. Well, holy shit. $7 million to $10 million. Weed must be selling like crazy, son. And number two, why the fuck would you want to get rid of those, even especially because you're going to be a weed dispensary? What? That doesn't make any goddamn sense. You're going right into a gold mine. Like, are you kidding me? You absolutely should keep that design on the outside and just add some weed stuff to it. That's it. Like, what the hell are you thinking? Man. Anyway, that's where I sat for a really long time. And it was way darker than that, so the camera just did an awesome job. But, yeah. They've got these little... they're not benches, but the little outside area where the plants would be. Like, it's perfect. Like, just enough angle you can sit on it comfortably. And so I had some electrolyte drinks because I was, like I said, it was real fucking hot. I didn't realize how sweaty I'd be. But yeah, I sweat quite a bit while I was in Chicago. Could have been all the the hot dogs and the pizza. Making my heart go boom boom. But yeah, this is a real cool spot to kind of like end the night, because basically I didn't have too much further to walk to the hotel from here. So it just kind of happened. Like I saw this on the walk out, and then was able to just walk upon it on the way back, which is cool. Definitely a cool place to be high, which is why I think it's ridiculous for them to get rid of that. It's so freaking cool, man. That's a shame, because it might not be there the next time I go. But yeah, if you can get out there, go check this out, because this might be a piece of history that disappears. But one of the cool things about the city of Chicago, it feels like an old American dream. Ooh, and I'm gonna show you why, because it has where all the men want to be. Let's see if I can make this smaller. Oh, not that way. There we go. There you go. It's probably gonna look like shit now that I've done that, but I want you to see. I found it. The Weber Grill. the almighty Weber Grill. All praise to the Weber Grill in the sky. That's how I felt walking around this place. I'm so high. Why is that Weber Grill so high? I don't know, but I'm gonna take a picture. Am I still high? Maybe. Oh, gotta be careful. These cities. I was pretty high, like later. Like I said, on the plane, I felt like it was definitely still in the system until I got back and was able to clean house on the bidet. Got all the remnants out of there. But yeah, had fun in Chicago. Oh, I had to burp, but it didn't come out. Oh man, I think there was one other thing on here. Oh yeah, another cool thing about Chicago that made it feel like a city. A city that, like, I would imagine. It's gonna be this one, yeah, the video. Ooh, where is it? All right. And I'm gonna turn that volume down because it's gonna be loud. Here we go. There you go. Just watching the trains go by on that, what do you call that? I don't know, it's above the street. Above the street tracks. But yeah, man, just feels like a city lived in that's it's not run down. I'm sure there's probably parts that are not so fun to be in, but I think for the main area there, Chicago's just a fun city to be in. I'd recommend checking it out. I think hits a lot of the points. Definitely's got some hot ladies. And as far as action goes, you got casino, right? And you've got lots of things to do in the city. Rugged dudes. Well, they got some. There's some gay guys running around out there, but they look like they're in pretty good shape. So, yeah, put them in the rugged dude. Minus their short shorts. But yeah, I think amply developed characters are certainly, if we talk about the city, it is a well-made character driven story there in Chicago. There's lots of tourist like things they can do like on the river. Like there's a lot of like gangster tours and ghost tours, and so if you like those things, there's a lot of that, and you can do it on the river or actually in the city. They're all over the place. So definitely has some character and story to tell there. Hitting that amply developed point. Not to mention the ladies. And then, well, apparently people do get shot. I did hear sirens a lot in the distance, so I'm sure they got that obituary point for that one. And like I said, for the narrative, yeah, there's a lot to be said about Chicago, and I think I'm interested to learn more about it. So, if you do, if you're from Chicago and or you've been to Chicago, you like Chicago, hit me up in the chat, type it in the comments, and until the next time, don't let your meat loaf. Mailman podcast coming to you. M-A-L-E man coming to you. Talking about Minnesota internet. If you don't like it, you can go to hell. Mailman podcast coming to you. M-A-L-E